What is up, YouTube? Jonusfatson here. I just finished tuning into the Microsoft E3 2017 conference, and I took some notes here. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job. One of the big complaints that they had from last year was that Microsoft didn't really show as many games as they should have. This year, that's what they did. They did game, which was great. There wasn't a lot of BS talking. I actually kind of I had some thoughts around what I was expecting from the Microsoft presser, and I was actually expecting more focus on the media stuff. There was a little bit more on, oh, we fit into your living room and make us the center of your attention and all of that. There wasn't really much of that. Like I said, there was a little bit, but not too much. I missed the very beginning. Unfortunately, as you can see, I got my golfing attire on, so I was golfing this morning. But I did miss the beginning. So the opener anyway. To be honest, like the way that I kind of looked at it, Microsoft took notes from Sony's presser last year, where they just did game, and they did the same thing. That's what you want in a press conference, though. You don't want to be sitting there just hearing developer or PR rep or someone talk over and over and over, and you lose the crowd. I felt the crowd near the about halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, they were losing the crowd a little bit, but they started to come back. Did you know that there's exclusives on the Microsoft product? I had no idea. They got to stop this shit. It's all console exclusive, console launch exclusive, freaking Burger King exclusive. Like, you name it, there's an exclusive version available, and that's a little frustrating. Even the guy that was saying exclusive, he was like, exclusive. He sounded like he was angry saying it, or world premiere, and it was like, come on. What are some of the notes I took down here? There was definitely a focus on 4K gaming. I don't know if there's really that much of a market for it yet, especially in like the living room. There is 2K gaming in PC right now, and 4K is just not quite there yet. So I think it might be a little early. Although, if I'm gonna get something like I have a 4K TV, but I never use it. There's not a lot of content available, so it is nice to see that there is content coming for it. That being said, though, I don't really give a shit about Minecraft in 4K. Like, it's a box. It's this big, and now it becomes this big. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter that it's Minecraft 4K. I don't care. There was a Rareware or something, MMO. I kind of missed on that one. The Sea of Thieves demo, I thought it was long, and like the actual gameplay trailer or demo or whatever you want to say, it felt a little long to me. I didn't really find anything. Like, they've shown everything in the game. It seems okay. Tacoma, I don't even remember what it is. I need to look this up. Microsoft, I'm just looking through my notes here. Tacoma. No, I don't remember. I just wrote what? WUT on there. Right after that, there was like it looked like I thought it was Conquer. I lost my shit. I thought, oh god, here comes Conquer again. Did you not learn from last year, Microsoft? Don't do it. And it was a fox, and it looked like a weird cross between like Mario Galaxy, Mario 3D World, and like Sonic Boom. I did not really feel, and like Yooka-Laylee a little bit there. I wasn't really feeling the game. It was called Super Lucky's Tale. It could be okay, but it felt like a little out of date. I think that the platforming genre, not that it's dead. I don't think it's a dead genre, but it needs to be something unique, and I didn't really find it there. But I like the collectible platform kind of games, so I'm a little stoked on it. I might check it out. Honestly, though, like, I didn't really, other than the platforming, I didn't really buy into it. After that, there was Cuphead. At this point, we've seen everything from Cuphead. They finally gave a date, which is great, September 29th. I gotta be honest, I have lost all sorts of hype for Cuphead. When they announced it, was it 3 years ago, I think now? It didn't, nothing looked like it. And now we're at a point where there are games that kind of look like it. They've used that cartoony, like maybe, oh, it's like a cartoon and people don't expect this in a game, and we've had games that have done that, and I'm just not really feeling Cuphead anymore. I'll still play it, don't get me wrong, but excuse me, I'm not nearly as excited for Cuphead as I was. Crackdown 3 came. I immediately knew it was Crackdown 3. I thought it was smart that they did Terry Crews on it, but it was super cheesy. It was. I like Crackdown. I like Crackdown 2. I really like what they did, but I don't know if there's really a place for them either. They're not quite campy enough to compete with Saints Row, and they're not quite serious enough to compete with Grand Theft Auto. And I don't know if there's a place for Crackdown. I don't know if the fan base is there, and we'll see. I know Terry Crews. He's a big star right now. He's probably like one of the biggest stars in that, at least like an actor that crosses between gaming and Hollywood. So I know he's being used quite a bit for it, but I didn't really find much that I really enjoyed on that one. Coming out November 7th. Then after that, they kind of ran through some of the games that came out. And I just kind of took a note because they were honestly, this was like a good part of the show where they just kind of rattled off game after game after game. So there was like Unruly Heroes that I put down. Observer looks really good. Ooblets, which I've been following on Twitter, looks exactly as it has been, but it looks totally fine. Riverbound, I don't remember why I wrote that down. Riverbound, Microsoft. Sorry for looking this up. I like literally doing this right after looking at the presser. Yeah, it's so new that there's not much available. Let's see, E3, Microsoft Conference. But I wrote it down. It looks like it's going to be like I wrote it down as part of my looks good list, so keep an eye. I wrote down a note, thank you for focusing on the games. I actually thought at this point that they were going to turn away, kind of like what they did before in the last couple of years, where they go, and that's all the games we're bringing in now to talk about bullshit that you don't care about, and we have 30 minutes to fill. Here's some random dude. Pay attention to him for a while. Here's a spreadsheet, freaking economics, like press or lecture that we're going to give you. Explain why we're the best console, and look at these numbers. This is why, and it's nobody wants that. Ashen looks good. I have seen it before, and it looks like it's going to be a game I'm going to pick up. It looked fine on there. Not really much to say about it. It looks promising. Then the Square game came out, and I was really surprised. I didn't really expect like a Life is Strange sequel to it, or prequel. I'm not too sure yet, but I put down a thing here like, don't make smoking cool, Square Enix. Like, it's not a good intro. You don't show cool people smoking. Only the coolest people smoke, and you made it seem like everybody smokes, but only the coolest. Only the coolest. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to it. I didn't really play through the first Life is Strange, although I really should. Just a second, or it was the second one, right? Yeah, it totally was. Yeah, should be good. After that, there was a pretty lengthy demo or gameplay video of Shadow of War. I am all in for Shadow of War. Shadow of Mordor was great, and it looks like they're taking everything that was really well done, and they listened to the community on Shadow of Mordor, and they're expanding on it. I really like Bruce the Orc. Spot on. He was great. However, one note I put down here is like, this is shit talking the video game. It felt like Mutant League Football from the Sega Genesis, that the amount of shit talking that was happening. Every single swing of the sword, there was something. I don't know. I'm still in on it, and it looks like it's going to be a good game. If they deliver what people loved on Shadow of Mordor, and that was kind of not so much the combat, but the orcs environments, the Nemesis thing that they talked about, and they're going to bring that back, but expand upon it. So I'm not too sure how they're going to do it. That being said, though, it does feel like the Vulcan mind meld was a little overpowered. Like it was able to take down an elite orc pretty quickly. So I'm hoping there's a little bit more depth to the combat than was kind of shown. Because even when, and I get that it's part of the E3, they want to kind of get it going and keep it going, but I really hope that they focus on the combat a little bit more than what they showed. Ori, the sequel to Ori, honestly, it's going to be great. That's going to be like a day one purchase. I'm probably going to go on Steam and pick it up and pre-order it, or if I can. I don't know. We'll see. And that actually brings up one of my points here is I still have some other notes. I'm going to get to them, but I don't want to lose my train of thought. Why do people buy an Xbox? Like, I don't get it, because nothing is exclusive to it. You can play them all on Windows 10 or Steam or whatever. So I didn't really feel Microsoft coming out and saying like, buy this because you can only play it here. It's like, buy this, you can only play it here on console. And it was, I didn't really feel why I would purchase an Xbox One X, which we'll get to. They talked about the backwards compatibility. They said a stat like half of Xbox One owners have played the backwards compatibility. That seems like pretty high number to me. I'm on the fence on the actual usefulness of backwards compatibility. It was cool that they're bringing back like the Xbox One, the first Xbox, not the new one, but they're going to be doing like 2 generations back of the Xbox on the newest one. It seems good. Crimson Skies, I didn't really think that was such an amazing game that they would lead with that. I would have thought maybe like Halo 2, if they came out and said, we're doing backwards compatibility, Halo 2 online will be active, I think that they would have had the crowd instantly for sure. Or a number of other games. I would be pretty stoked for some of the old school, or not old school, but like old RPGs that were on the original Xbox. That it's been a while since I played, and if they do a similar upgrade cycle or make them look better, much like Sony has done with some of the older stuff, like the PlayStation 2 games that have come out, I'd be in for it. They did mention that there's free 4K upgrades, but to be honest, if I'm picking up a console that supports 4K games, kind of expect the upgrade to be free. I don't necessarily expect the upgrade. That's on the publisher or the developer, whomever. But I expect it to be free. I don't want to buy a console and not be there. There was like a Pixel noir game that I missed the name of. It looks really, really cool. I was like all in on it, and I feel stupid for missing. I think I looked away from the screen for like half a second and I missed it. So if you know the name of it, shoot it to me. So to saves me looking it up, because I may not find it, but I absolutely want to play it. It looked really, like the dynamic lighting was there. I like pixel art, so it kind of hit the nail for me. After that, they announced the name of the next Xbox, which was the Xbox One X, which is just ridiculous to say. You got like Scorpio was so much cooler. Like it was clean. It didn't sound like you were having like an aneurysm when you were saying the name of it. So it's now we have the Xbox One 10. That also is like the Windows 10 thing, and now I don't know. I didn't think the name was clever, so we have the S and the X, and that's going to get confusing. They're way too sounding alike. Now it's stupid enough that they were called the Xbox One, and now we have the Xbox One S, and you didn't even notice that I said the same thing right there, but I did. Then EA came out, and this was kind of like the last thing. Oh, I didn't mention. I wrote it down, or I didn't actually. I did write it down. The Assassin's Creed, I even forget the name of it. It just looks like every other Assassin's Creed that ever existed. No, I'm not in. But BioWare's Anthem was shown. using the Frostbite engine, which always looks good until they show a face. Until they show like this moneymaker, like my moneymaker. It lost me a bit. Like, it was very clear at that point that it was like, I got uncanny valley with it. It was very clear that it was like a computer graphic environment as when they showed the face. And I get it, it's a video game, but at the same point, like, I just felt it took it out of it. I was actually I made a note here that I don't want this to be a first person shooter, because it seemed like they were walking through kind of like Killzone Shadowfall. Yeah, Killzone Shadow. That sounds right. When the PlayStation 4 was announced, it was one of the ones that they showed, and they showed somebody walking through a crowd in the first person. The character went boop, 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 through the crowd, and I got a feel of that. And then it flipped, and they showed the main character, which I really hope they keep a woman. But I'm going to talk on like why I was a little confused by the whole thing there. She looked badass, like none other. Like, honestly, she was like Microsoft's Samus at that point, except like a modern version of it. And I don't think we're going to see Samus this year at all, by the way. And it was cool. But then it switched to third person. That's what I wanted. It felt like they were BioWare's Destiny, basically. But I wasn't sure if it was a single player game or a multiplayer game. I wasn't sure, like, because it felt like that they were the characters in the game were talking like they were characters in the game, but then there were certain things, like there was like a loot crate and they were bringing people into the game, and it felt really awkward to me, like trying to figure out whether or not it's a multiplayer game or a single player game. And I don't know. And yeah, it looks great. Like, it looks like a beautiful game. Like, the graphics look great. The sound, the atmosphere looks fine. I kind of wish that there was like a big elephant-sized monster that they just kind of flew past. Kind of wish that they took it on. I think it's a kind of game that will make you feel like a badass, and it's not a bad thing. But I don't know if you're going to get the rich story experience on it, and to be honest, I don't know if you need it. Also, I forgot to mention that PUBG, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is coming to the Xbox One. I mean, like, that's fine. At the same point, it's not really anything that I'm really looking forward to so much. Is this it? The Last Night? I think this is the game I was talking. I needed to look this up because it was bugging me. This was the game. Yeah, it is. The Last Night is the game I was talking about. It was like a film noir meets wow, I can't think. What the hell? Bear with me for a second. Blade Runner. Why did I lose that? It looks like film noir meets Blade Runner, which was kind of film noir, but it looks good. That was, look, I'm a little biased towards that kind of stuff, but that was the game of the presser for me. I wanted to see more of it. I didn't get it. PUBG's coming. Cool. I don't know if that's like crossplay or not. I saw that they showed a Switch in the Minecraft video. I don't give a shit about Minecraft at all. But other than that, I think they nailed the price on the Xbox One X. It was pretty much exactly what they were expecting. I think it was a price decrease on the standard version, which I guess is what S stands for now. But other than that, I thought they did a decent job. I gave them, I'm gonna give them here. Just going through notes. I gave them like a B or a B minus on it. There was a lot better than last year's Microsoft. Last year's was just not good. This year, you delivered what people wanted, and that was games. I was actually, this is a funny story. I actually had like a prep for this video. I was actually going to grab a couple video games off the shelf. I think I'm going to put it behind me on the green screen and explain like this is a game, Microsoft, and then show like a console and say, this is where you play it. But I didn't do it because I didn't need to. There was, you did exactly what you needed to do. It was a little safe, but I get why you did it. You needed to answer from Sony from last year, and I think you did. I think you did. I think you did what you needed to do. It was fine. It was totally fine. Next up is I think the PC gaming conference. That's the next one. E3 schedule. Pull up my schedule. Where are you? That's 2016. There we go. Bethesda is later. I'm not going to be able to do much for it. Hopefully I can do tomorrow's PC gaming. I might have to watch it later, though. I do have a pretty busy Monday, but I was able to watch the Xbox One live, so stay tuned for that. I might be able to watch the Bethesda one tonight and then put up a video as well, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to call it here. Like I said, B- Microsoft, thumbs up. That is a scholarship level grade. I don't know if it is, but you did good. I just kind of wish that there was a little bit more uniqueness to the conference. That's all. Which it's not a bad thing. Just to kind of end it, I think like 4K Blu-ray players right now are about $300 or $400. So to come in at about $500, if you're in the market for a Blu-ray 4K game player, pick up the One X. You may as well. It's an extra $100 and you get a lot more for it. Or you can wait a year and it'll be the same price. So that'll be it. They did good. They did good. Didn't really miss much. It was a lot better than the EA presser. I will say that. There was no, I can't high five and oh God, what are we doing? But yeah, B- for sure. Anyway, if you like what you saw, feel free to give me a like and a sub. It means the world to me. You can also be found on Twitter, twitter.com/Jonusfatson, or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jonusfatson. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you after the PC Gaming Show Conference. Peace out.